Why are so many creators struggling to grow their channels when there's such an abundance of high quality advice out there? Now, you might immediately suggest, oh, well, they're just lazy, they don't want to put the work in, or they just don't want it enough. But I disagree. It's not because they don't have it in them to succeed. It's because their approach to achieving success is completely backwards, and it's unknowingly killing their progress. But it's tough. You can't open YouTube without being served yet another enticing video that appears to have the key to your success. And there'll always be that one video that just makes you think, oh, I just got to watch this one. But 9 times out of 10, that video you're compelled to watch won't help you. So we're going to unpack why that is. We'll look at the simplest way to succeed on YouTube so you can stay out of tutorial hell. And we'll look at how to leverage AI to save hours of mindless learning when you find a video you just have to click on. And this is all based on my own journey of growing a channel and going from okay results to pretty amazing ones, all without buying any courses or consuming tons of videos. And we'll unpack exactly what I did later. But first, why are tutorials and learning hurting you? To understand that, we have to look at how a lot of creators approach this. What you'll find is that they'll massively front load how much information they're taking in as they try to set themselves up for success. And it makes sense. The more things you can do right in the beginning, the bigger and better results you're going to get, right? Well, not exactly. Because with this wave of new information comes a few drawbacks, such as overwhelm at how much there is to learn and do, indecision from all the different methods you've learned and fear of picking the wrong one, overthinking every little detail of your videos, high expectations of what your videos should look like, and with that, perfectionism as you try to achieve that expectation. By front-loading information like this, these creators are searching for the perfect blueprint that will guarantee success as quickly as possible, but for most, it has the complete opposite effect. Not to mention that so much of that information they did consume won't be retained anyway. The solution isn't to change what information you consume, but instead when you consume it. Let's break down the 3 steps to doing that and achieving vastly more success in a lot less time. Wait, this is sounding suspiciously like a tutorial. Step 1, figure out what you need to learn. Now, while I'm advocating less time spent learning, you still need to learn the fundamentals. And it goes without saying that a beginner will need to learn everything. However, they don't need to learn everything now. Focusing on the fundamentals of YouTube success, which starting with the most important are coming up with great ideas, titles and thumbnails, which is your packaging, the hook to start the video, script writing, and presentation. The beginner just needs to ask themselves which of these they know the least about, and if they know nothing, then start right at the top. Then set a goal to learn about developing video ideas, and because packaging is so closely linked to that, I'd add it to the list too. Because pairing a great idea with a top-notch title and thumbnail is going to be the biggest needle mover by far for beginners. Now, if you're more experienced, then simply audit your current skill set and which ones you feel could be improved the most, and let that be your goal of improvement. Then we can move on to step 2, learn. Spend some time finding a reputable source to learn about the things you want to improve, being intentional with what you watch. And you've got to try and be disciplined here and avoid the learning rabbit hole while disguising it as progress. Once you feel you have a decent method to move forward with, move forward. Consuming more and more on this topic to the point of getting many different opinions will only land you right back in overwhelm and overthinking. It's an easy trap to fall into. It's difficult when you hear different people recommending different methods, especially if they contradict each other. But there's something important to remember here. Most creators are selling you their ideas as the ones to follow. Now, there's nothing wrong with that to a point, but it's easy to get the impression that you might fail if you don't follow that particular method. And here's something else to remember. Most methods from reputable sources will work if you stick at them. So please don't get stuck on this fear of picking the wrong one, because that will guarantee that you won't succeed. So you've spent some time learning about a fundamental skill. Now for step 3, implement and publish. Now it's just a case of implementing the new skill in your next video and hitting publish. And once it's out, just take a step back and think, how could I make this better next time based on my knowledge of the fundamentals? Then run through this same 3-step cycle again. And this is the exact method I used to go from half decent results to amazing results in very little time. From 2018 to 2020, I was posting pretty basic how-to content around motorcycle track riding. I'd think of something I thought was interesting to talk about. I'd write a script, shoot a video, throw a title and thumbnail together last minute, and push it out with some keywords stuffed in there somewhere. Now, it did allow me to start growing a business, but it was nothing exceptional. After a 3-year gap of not posting any videos, I decided to come back to the channel for round 2, but this time I was going to be far more intentional. I learned about the fundamentals of YouTube, largely through YouTube videos, focusing on ideas and packaging initially, and things started amazingly well, with my first video back hitting 100,000 views views in 10 days, which is something I'd never experienced before. And since then, my channel has gone from strength to strength, bringing in millions of views, hitting 100,000 subscribers while taking my business to a whole new level through sponsorships and selling my own digital products. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret that might surprise you. Most of my success since my return can be attributed to those early lessons on ideation, titles, and thumbnails. Admittedly, I feel I had a pretty decent video structure down from previous experience, focusing on a solid hook and then a small number of clearly defined sections. But aside from a few improvements there, along with slight upgrades to my presentation, not much else changed. And this is a key takeaway. Once you understand the fundamentals to a half-decent level, your true learning and progress comes from making more videos. Because by taking action, you create a feedback loop that is essential to your success. You create a video, you publish it, you analyze the results, while using them to help create the next video. You have to get past this idea that you need the blueprint to success before making any meaningful effort, because in reality, the blueprint doesn't truly materialize until you begin consistently creating. So, does this mean you can never watch tutorials? Of course not. Tutorials will be a part of my learning habit to keep on top of what's going on or to help me see new potential ways of doing things. But the key is that it's intentional and in moderation. But sometimes there's that video that just hooks me so good that I just feel compelled to click. And to help with that and to stop wasting time and going down unnecessary tutorial rabbit holes, you can use this tip. A bonus tip of what to do when you feel the urge to click. When I see a video that I feel absolutely compelled to click on, but I probably know I don't need to, I turn to AI. I'll paste in the link and ask AI to give me a breakdown of the video and what the key lessons and takeaways are, which it lays out nicely for me. This allows me to very quickly scan what the video is really about and what actionable advice is given. And what I find is that 9 times out of 10, it's information I already know or I just don't need. However, if there's something that does pique my interest, I'll just make a note of it and watch it later to learn more about it. And here I'm using Cortex, which I use for all my writing as it has integrations with all the major AI models, but you can just grab the transcript from YouTube directly and paste it into ChatGPT or similar if needed. So what's your next step here? Well, first, honestly ask yourself if you've learned enough to be able to make the next video, which realistically should be yes, because if you know how to shoot and upload one to YouTube, you're ready. From there, honestly assess which skills you need to begin improving based on what you know about the fundamentals. Then go and learn about them, being honest with yourself if you really need to learn and that you're just not passing it off as progress. Then just keep making videos, trying to be a little bit better each time. There's really no secret formula here, which means you have my full permission to stop watching tutorials that you really don't need to watch. And consider setting yourself a publish goal and using that to force you to publish quicker. So for example, with this channel, it's a new channel and a new business I'm starting. And I've given myself the challenge of posting every week for a year. I'm still trying to make a great video, but this goal is also going to force me to get the videos out there as good enough as opposed to perfect, whatever that is. I promise you, if you commit to creation as much as you do consuming, you're going to do amazingly well. And if you're after a little bit of support on this journey, I'm here to provide it. Just head to the link down in the description to find out how. But one other thing that can massively speed up the creation process is AI. And in this video here, I've laid out the full creator blueprint to help you get up to speed and begin surfing the AI content creation wave instead of being drowned by it. But outside of that, thank you so much for watching this one, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.